I'm going to cover a little bit about a note-taking program called Obsidian and how specifically you can use it to help you with AI. Um, and um, and then cover the WinAero's Tweaker and CIS Internals AutoRuns. And also, lastly, a very nice program that I found that you can use for free to actually back up your email. So regardless of whether you're using Yahoo Mail or Microsoft Mail or your own personal mail server, there's a very nice, easy to use tool that I found that lets you do a full backup of all of your mail so that in the event anything happens to your mail, you accidentally delete your inbox, your account goes away, and you need to set up a new mailbox, you can restore everything to the new mailbox. So I'll show that off as well.
I'm laughing because I think I, I forgot, I think I have 8,000 emails in my inbox right now.
Oh, I'm probably got you beat. I probably got you beat.
I just don't get time to clean it out. Okay, go ahead, stretch your legs, those of you who want to. I'll stay on.
Yeah,
My legs don't need
my
stretching. They stretched out many
um,
years ago.
yeah, my King Consulting mailbox alone, just one of them, has a total of 17,500 messages.
Yeah, but are they all in the inbox?
Yes. Um,
I don't think we're
yeah,
supposed to do that. I've got 16 in my combined inbox. I have 16,173.
my combined inbox, my unified inbox, is 122,552.
You know what? We spend all too much time on our computers.
I basically I started King Consulting back in 2003, 2004. So and I've been using the same mail server ever since. So I have mail going back to going back to 2003.
I used to have mail going back to 1995, but I think now it just goes back to 2001.
Two of
But
my
I'm
sons worked at Microsoft and they have inboxes like you're describing. I said, how in the heck do you ever find, what you're looking for? And they do it through conversations, I think. But I set up folders or labels in Gmail and I drag everything into a folder. And I don't know that that's the most efficient way. I just looked, I have 137 uh, emails in my inbox right now. I try really hard to clean those out. It takes me an hour every day just to drag things into folders, though.
Yeah,
So,
I get so many daily emails that I would like to read. I just don't have time to read them all.
right,
Yeah,
So I don't delete them because I want to read them. But
right.
and then when I go to clean out, I say, okay, give me all the emails with this from this address. And gee, I got 300 of them or 500 from that address alone.
yeah. And then I use an email program called Thunderbird, and Thunderbird has a feature called tags. And when a new email message comes into my inbox, it automatically checks to see if it meets any particular criteria and then applies a tag. So if I have a newsletter, all newsletters are tagged with newsletter, the newsletter tag. And then I can go down to the tags category and just view my newsletters.
Oh, I think I did a video on this, but let me go ahead and share my screen and close this because I don't need it. And I don't need this. I don't need this. Let's close out a few things on my desktop here. And I'm going to open this. This is a program called Meco, M-E-C-O. I'm still using the free version because you can have, I think, three different, there's a limit, and I don't fall within the limit, but it's I use an address. I subscribe to something using a Miko address. They give me an address. I use that address, and then I tell it I unsubscribe from it from going to my regular mail. So all of these don't go to my regular mail. And so let's just take one that I'm going to take all business insight. I'm going to take this one. Here is the email newsletter. I can go and I can read the whole thing, do whatever I want to, and so on. And when I click it again, it's gone. I don't have to delete it. It's just gone. And I have senders. These are all the ones that I'm getting emails from, newsletters from, into this address. I don't get to read them all, but they kind of go away if I don't read them. And so it's called Miko. And let's see. Does it tell me Miko Pro? I don't use the Pro. Connected mailboxes, preferences, help and support. Let's see if it says how to get in touch with them. I guess if you just do a
Google
modify.
search.
They have a yearly plan for $3.33 a month, but I don't even pay that. I've got the free plan, and I've been real happy with it.
I used to have rules set up in Outlook, which would drop things automatically into a folder that I didn't have time to read. I haven't done that in Gmail, but I need to set up rules in Gmail to do the same thing, because right now I'm doing it all manually.
What I like about Miko, it's the same on my iPad as it is on my desktop. So I can carry my iPad with me and read news and just news. And when I'm done reading it, I don't have to delete anything. I just click it, it goes away, and the next one pops up. And so if I go to the doctor's office, I get a bunch of newsletters read while I'm waiting. So when they say
a lot of territory.
And yeah, you can use the filter section of Gmail to automatically save into various labels. They're not folders, they're called labels.
Right.
All right, so why don't we get started then? I'm going to see if I can find. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to bring up a note, and I got to go into Zoom and say share screen one. And all right. So basically, this is what you're looking at right now, a note-taking app called Obsidian. And the note that I'm editing right now is called CFCS TechSig, March 8th, 2026. I have this software allows you to use add-ins. One of those is an add-in called ShareNote. And that's what put all of these properties in here. I've shared this note out on the internet so that if I were to give you this link here, you would be able to see in a web browser the contents of this note. And anytime I edit the note, I can go in here and say, share note on the web, and it will update the information on the web if I should edit the contents of the file. Also, if I go in here and type in share note, share current note, copy the shared note link, delete the shared note, or force a re-upload of all data. So you can do all of these things if you should change the contents of the note. Now, what do I put in here? Well, actually, let me cover a few things. If you want to, Obsidian provides a paid synchronization service that I happen to use. If you want to do it for free, they have an add-in, a community add-in called Remotely Save. that I'll cover with you in a few minutes. And the share note is another thing that I use. And then they have a web clipper, which is very handy. The web clipper lets you go into any web page. Let's say this is a web page. I can go in here and use my Obsidian web clipper, and it will pull out all of this information here: the title, the source, the author, the date that it was published, and then I'll say add it to Obsidian, and poof, here is that article, and it looks just like it does on the internet. And it has even all of the little bullet lists, and it has the pictures, it has hyperlinks. And this is a replica. Here's an embedded video. Oops, we want to get rid of that. You can embed videos inside Obsidian as well, have embedded videos. So this is a copy of the ad blocker website, and that's how easy it is to clip it. And now I have a copy of this inside Obsidian, so that if I ever, this is the source URL if I ever want to go back there. But if I go back there and the page is no longer there, I have all of the information in my Obsidian database. That's one thing you can use it for. We've been talking a lot about AI, and if I go into an AI engine, I'm going to click here and say go to OpenAI. A lot of times, if you have a bunch of different chats, you could have a little box that allows you to clip the text of a conversation. If I go in here, this is what I'm referring to is this little box right here. Sometimes you come across an opportunity to have a conversation where it gives you an answer like this. I asked it a question, it gave me an answer, and there's one box to copy. If I ask it something else, it's a follow-up question, and it gives me an answer, I'm going to have a second box and potentially a third and a fourth. Well, none of the chat engines, whether it be Gemini or Copilot or ChatGPT, they don't give you a simple option to just say, copy the entire conversation. So if you're in OpenAI, what you want to do is I'm going to say manage extensions, and the particular extension that I'm referring to is called come on, where is it? Adobe Acrobat, AI Explorer. Oh, here it is. AI Exporter. It's called AI Exporter. And AI Exporter allows you to export your ChatGPT or Gemini or Copilot to a Markdown format or to a PDF file or a text file. So basically what I do is if I'm in here and you have a lengthy chat, you can click here and then say AI Exporter, and it will grab the entire conversation. And you can say how you would like it to be, whether you want it to be a PDF, a Markdown file, a text file. Now, interestingly enough, of these choices, Markdown is the one that you want to choose if you're going to use Obsidian to store your OpenAI or Gemini chat sessions. Many of you use more than one chat engine. And if you have a conversation and you get an answer that you want to refer back to in the future, how do you know what chat engine you used, what login you were using? Obsidian is a good way to store all of your chat conversations that you want to preserve for the future. So if you go into OpenAI and you copy the conversation as Markdown, then you have to, you can then copy the contents of that into Obsidian. So if I were to ask it a question, I'm not logged in right now, but we'll see. Am I logged in? Oh, maybe I am. Markdown hyperlink syntax. So here is a chat session, and here's the little copy button. If instead you have a bunch of them, let's say I have, let's see if I can find one that has multiple, yeah, here's one that has one here, and it's got another one here. If you go in instead to AI Exporter, and you say Markdown, it processes it, and now it creates a file that's in Markdown format. And I'm going to just save that file here for now. And then I'm going to open that link. And here is the file. That this is a complete copy of what was inside the Chat GPT. And so now if I copy all of this and put it in Obsidian, and I'm going to say for the meeting, I'm going to create a new note and say example. And then if I paste that in here, it has the link to the chat that it came from, what I asked, what the response is, and it has everything in here. It has all the fancy logos. It has it exactly as it was in the chat. And this is the default format for if I were to open up Notepad and paste the chat into the Notepad, this is what Notepad looks like. You may have seen in the past, when you save chats into something, you'll see a couple of parentheses of pound signs next to each other. 3 lines in a row says draw a horizontal line. 3 pound signs versus 2 pound signs changes the font size. This is all Markdown code. 2 asterisks before and after a word bolds the text. So these are all Markdown codes. And when you do ChatGPT or Copilot or anybody else, oops, somebody's waiting. Hang on one second. We got people in the waiting room. Admit all. There we go. These codes that you're seeing on the screen right now are Markdown codes, and they'll display properly in Obsidian. So what I do is when I come up with an answer to a problem, I categorize it inside Obsidian, and you basically create a series of notebooks and notes. And then you have the ability to search those notebooks, scroll through the notebooks. I have tags. So I have everything related to the program WinGet is listed over here. Um, if everything that I have related to Windows is over here, everything that I have published on the internet is right here. So you can go back very easily and search for what you're looking for. And there are, in the search box, you can search for the path to the file, the tag sections. You can, these are previous words that I've searched for. But anyway, inside settings, you want to go into community plugins and load a plugin called Remotely Save. Remotely Save allows you to synchronize for free. It's not an official Obsidian plugin. It's not, it's the one that most people on the internet use. It's very reliable. And it's just not updated regularly or supported by the manufacturer. For example, Dropbox is very reliable. I would recommend it for Dropbox, and I would recommend it for Microsoft OneDrive. I wouldn't recommend it for pCloud is a premium feature. Google Drive is a premium feature. Only they haven't released the premium yet. So Dropbox, get yourself a free Dropbox account or use your Microsoft account, and you can set up synchronization between your phone, tablet, and computer. So that's Remotely Save. And then the other one that I recommend is the one called ShareNote. ShareNote is the one that I use to publish individual notes to the internet. So if I'm on a Zoom meeting and I go to, I'm going to go back to the notes, and I happen to know that I was in CFCS and I was in meetings, and here is the meeting for March 8th, and I will copy this link here and I'll put it in the chat so that you can see what it looks like. Now you have the link to the notes for the meeting. And as we continue the meeting, that note may grow a little bigger. That's what's nice about it. Does anybody have any questions so far about Obsidian? I don't see anybody raising their hands. So I will continue. That's what I recommend Obsidian for. If you use it for nothing else, use it for that. Huey, you have a question. You're muted.
I'm muted. Yep. What does Obsidian cost?
Obsidian is free to use. If you use, the only thing you have to pay for is if you want to use their company synchronization service. If you use Remotely Save, which is a community-driven plugin, you can synchronize with Microsoft or Dropbox or some other places for free. And Obsidian is free. And it runs on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, iOS. They charge money to share notes on the internet. There's a ShareNote community plugin that lets you do that for free. You're familiar with the Evernote web clipper. Obsidian has a web clipper too. So that's about it for Obsidian. It's got lots of plugins.
Yeah, it looks like it's got a lot of extras. I'm switching from Evernote to UpNote, and I'm going to talk about it tomorrow on Tech for Senior, and then I'm going to do a presentation on actually how I use it. Tomorrow, I'm just going to talk about what it is, and The Evernote has raised their prices so high that even though I got 27,000 notes there, I am going to abandon them since 2008 I've been using them. And I was looking for something and I tried Upnote and it basically for what I'm doing. You're a little bit more involved with what you use Obsidian, what you use uh, Evernote for and so on than I do. I basically just store articles and then go back and use them. So I don't even need all 27,000. So I'm going to be happy with what I'm using, but it's not quite as it doesn't save quite as much information as I like that Obsidian does, but I think Obsidian might be more than what I'm looking for.
Um, well, Obsidian stores all of its files in Markdown format. So this tree that you see here is basically a folder tree on my computer. Each of these is a subdirectory, and each of these is a file with the Markdown extension on the end of it. And so you can copy and paste your entire set of files just using regular File Explorer. It's basically just giving you an organized way to view them all. For what's nice about it is you can insert, if you say add external link, it gives you the Markdown format for an external link so that you can have the text to the link and then also the link itself. And if I want to put in a link, I'll put it in here. Now I've got a hyperlink that says the word text, and it's not going to go anywhere. Well, it will. It'll go to here. And here is the link to the note that I've been sharing with you for now. So we're going to move on from Obsidian and go to a program called Ferdium. All your services in one place. This is my program called Ferdium. It's a Windows app. It's free. And it's basically a web browser with tabs going down the left-hand side. And I have, when I want to do chat or do any AI at all, I use Ferdium because I've added to it a window for ChatGPT, a window for Perplexity, a window for Google Gemini, another one for Copilot. And they're all right here all the time in this app that starts up automatically when Windows starts. And you can log in to each individual window, wherever you want to use as a login, as your login ID. So I'm logged into each of these. And they're just the same as if you were using them in a regular web browser, except they're contained inside this little web app kind of thing. I have my Discord here, my pCloud, my Proton Drive, my Proton Mail. You can put in as many of these as you want. And I find this a convenient way to do that. And getting back to the website, if you click here, it will take you to Ferdium, all your services in one place, built by the community. And you can basically set this up for free and do all the stuff that I showed you. Let's go back to here. And we'll go to CFCS. And here is, so that was Ferdium. CIS Internals AutoRuns. Let me see if I have AutoRuns in my downloads. AUTO. AutoRuns.zip. Yep. Here we go. And basically what I'm going to do is take AutoRuns 64.exe and copy that. And I'm just going to put it right here. Come on. Why does it want an hour?
You're copying over 3,000 files.
Yeah, something is wrong. Let me do it this way. Go into pzip and open as archive.
Yeah, it was also 169 gigs too.
Yeah, it's only 1.8 megabytes, which is what was concerning me. I'm going to say extract AutoRun 64, and I'll put it in my downloads directory. So now I've got AutoRun 64. AutoRun 64 is an advanced version of going in through the task manager. If I click on login,
Well,
this
Process
is
Explorer is the version of Task Manager.
and so if I click here, I now have in the registry, I'm at the Microsoft Windows current version run, and this should match what you see in Task Manager. There are things that are called run once, Windows current version run, and you'll see that there is TextMit Snagit is underneath current version run, not under not under this one over here. So you can see more stuff that's running than you can see in the task manager. And if you're having problems with two things running or something running that you don't know where it's running from, this will cover absolutely everything. This won't skip a beat on anything that you're trying to do. So that's AutoRuns. By the way, this program here is one commander. It's the file manager that I use instead of using File Explorer. By default, it collects all of your hard drives up in the top here. It puts all of this stuff here is the same things that are pinned inside File Explorer. So you got this PC, I've got my cell phone, I've got my desktop, my documents, videos, music. These are all the same things that you see in File Explorer. I've got my cloud drives, and I can create a new group if I want to. And I have, by default, two windows open, a left side and a right side. These will open up persistently. So each time you open one commander, it'll restore these two tabs. Rather than in File Explorer with Windows, you don't get tabs restored. If I want a second tab over here, I can simply click on the second tab, choose to go to my Google Drive, and now I have my Google Drive over here and temp over here. You can easily drag and drop files back and forth. And if you go into a directory where there are pictures, just cloud files are not available. Oh, yeah. Here's one that's available. If you This little icon shows which ones are on my computer, which ones are in the cloud. If I click on one, any file that you click on, that's a picture file. You just hit the space bar and it immediately brings that picture up for you. If you want to look for a particular file, you just start typing the name and it gives you files that contain that name. What's really nice about it is in settings, you can go in and change the font size, which you can't do in Windows File Explorer. So if you want to make your files even bigger, you can make them even bigger so that you can see them. So now you should be able to see my files in File Explorer a lot more easily now than you could see them, for example, in File Explorer. If I go in here, this is a lot smaller. This is a much smaller font than what you're getting in here. So if you would like bigger fonts, another reason to use One Commander. Let's see, what else do I have here? Oh, WinAero Tweaker. I was going to cover WinAero Tweaker. Under utilities, I have WinAero Tweaker. And no, I don't want to download the new one. Okay, so now this is going to be very small. Can everybody read this, or is the font too small?
It's small, but I can read it.
How about that?
Better.
Better.
All right, so I'm using a feature from CIS Internals and from Windows called ZoomIt, and I will zoom my screen in so that you can see things a little bit more easily than this. On the information tab, it's basically just showing me I'm running Windows Professional. I've got a 13th generation i9 processor, 64 gigs of RAM. And over here are the different places that you would go to change information on your system. Classic full context menus. Enable classic full context menus. Basically, what that means is that if I go into File Explorer and I right click on something, in Windows 11 by default, it gives you a window that has a limited set of options. And then at the bottom, there's a little button that says More, and it gives you more options. If you prefer the way that it was in Windows 10, you just check this box off here, and it goes into the registry and makes the necessary change to enable classic context menus. You can have a classic taskbar. You can colorize the taskbar. Some of these things are things that I don't really care about. You can do all these custom accents, advanced appearance settings. You can change the menu height. You can change fonts. You can go in and change the system font. Here is behavior auto repair at boot. Boot options. You can turn on the Windows 7 like boot menu if you like. You can enable Control Alt Delete. You can change things that are on the login screen. In context menus, you can decide what you want to have and what you want to customize. in settings in the control panel, you can add classic user accounts back in. They removed that. In File Explorer, you can customize different features in File Explorer. In user accounts, you can enable the built-in administrator if you want. That's disabled by default. You would basically go here, enable administrator or disable administrator. You can make changes to Windows Defender, Windows apps. You can auto update store apps or disable Windows Workspace. You can make power changes. And it has an option to get classic apps. So here is classic calculator, Windows 7 games, classic notepad, classic paint, classic WordPad. Here's how you get WordPad. You just click on here and it will take you to a website where you can get classic WordPad. Download WordPad for Windows 11. So there are different things that you can do with WinAero Tweaker. So if it looks like something that you might like to mess with, it's free. If you want to, it's got a search box. If you want to search for something that you don't know about. Anyway, that's WinAero Tweaker. I'm going to hit Control-4 and make it small again. For those of you who are on Zoom, and you find that you're at a meeting where the presenter is presenting something with fonts that are this small, you can run this program to make your fonts bigger, make the Zoom presentation bigger. And the way to do that is to go to CIS Internals and ZoomIt. And this program right here, download ZoomIt, it's 1.7 megabytes. When you run it, there's no installer, it just runs. And then Control-4 will make the screen bigger and smaller. And then you can adjust how big you would like the zoom to be. If you zoom in and you want it to zoom in more, you have the option to make it go in even further.
Can you draw around it? Draw on it?
Excuse me?
Can you draw on it?
Yes, you can. If I go to Control-2, that gives me a dot, and I can draw on the screen.
How did you zoom in further?
I held down the Control key and I pressed arrow up.
Oh, okay.
If I type the letter B, it'll give me blue text. If I hold down the Control key, it'll let me draw a box. So the last thing that I wanted to cover, anybody have any question about ZoomIt?
Yeah, one thing I want to point out on the previous topic of WinAero, the second item in the list on the left side is recent changes. It keeps track of all the changes you made. You don't have to remember them.
So if you find something you changed you don't like, then you can go into the recent changes, find that setting, and undo it.
All right. So I just put the link to ZoomIt in here. So now you'll all have the link to ZoomIt. The last topic that I wanted to cover before we quit is a program called MailStore Home. MailStore Home is free for home users. Free email archiving for home users. Permanently archive your mail. You can archive Gmail, Outlook, Yahoo, Microsoft Outlook, Pop, or IMAP. So I'm going to go into my file explorer, which is now huge. And I'm going to go to MailStore Home and MailStore Portable. And this is what the program looks like. And you click on Archive Email, and then you punch in the email account that you want to archive, and it will log you in to your email, and then you can choose how much or all if you want to back up. The export mail button is a way to restore mail to a source or destination. So you can put it back where it came from, or you can put it somewhere else. Now that I have one email account backed up from Gmail, I can go into the search box and I can search, and I can say that I want to search subjects, message bodies, attachments, the sender. I can search for the name Andrew, and then say if I want to search by date, and then I hit search, and it's going to come up with all of the emails that are in that Gmail account with the word Andrew in them. There it is. So this is a way of you to preserve, if you should lose access to your Gmail account for any reason at all, you lose all your mail. This is a way to preserve all your mail, and restore it to another account if you need to. And it's free to use.
Do you have the download link for that?
Yes, I do. I think it's right. Yeah, it's in the email. It's in the meeting notes right here.
Okay, good.
Where are those
Um,
emails backed up to? Where are they stored, Drew?
They're stored to a, if I go to here in the start page, when you do the install, it's automatic. I chose drive F on my computer. So if I go into here and do a control-4, F : MailStore Home is where it's storing the mail. So you can decide where you want to put it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions about MailStore?
It's always stored locally, not in the cloud. Is that right? Or you could store it on
Correct.
Google
Well,
Drive.
unless you put it in the cloud. Like I have drive F for me is local. If I chose to put it on drive P, then it would put it on my pCloud drive. But anyway, that is it. So if there are no other questions, I will stop sharing. And so if there are no other questions or from anybody about anything, then I guess the meeting can conclude.
Thanks, Drew. I had to step away for a moment and I have a quick question for you. Um, when you back up your emails, like Elva, I have a lot of subfolders for different email accounts. Does it save those as well, or does it only save the inbox and sent or something like that?
Um, it will back up um the actual mailbox that say if you go into Google and back up a Gmail account, it will back up the entire mailbox, including folders if you want it to. You can specify what you want it to and what not. You can even specify the dates so that you can back up only old files or back up only the new stuff. Um, it's got a lot of customizable options.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for all of the information you gave us for this session. It was a nice addition to the Windows SIG. Thank you.
Hmm.
All right, with that note, Drew and everybody that's still hung in there, it's been a long afternoon. I'm hungry, and it seems like it's only 3 o'clock, but it's almost 4 because it's going to take a while to get used to this time change. But glad everybody joined us. Thanks for coming. And let's see. I've got Monday is Tech for Seniors. I've got Let's Talk AI coming up on the fourth Friday of the month, and we'll be back here the second Sunday of the month. So with that, everyone, thanks for joining. We'll see you
Thank
later.
you, Huey. Thanks, Drew.